wow, what an awesome, awesome series. There's nothing bad I can say about this series, and that's rare for me. Everything down to the animation style, the artwork, the score. The score is amazing. I went out and actually bought the OST afterwards, so the official soundtrack, and yeah, I can't stop thinking about it. And that anime is Made in Abyss. If you guys haven't heard of it before, it came out in 2017, so I'm a little bit late to the party, but I am so glad that I found it. What an awesome anime. I mean, I thought I had hit the emotional gold mine with Big Fish and Begonia, but Made in Abyss has just made me even sadder and happier. Melancholy. I'm melancholy. I'm straight down the middle melancholy. So what's the series about? So the series follows the story of Riko, who's an orphan, like most kids' stories start off with. And she is actually or what they call a cave raider. So she lives in a town that's on the edges of a giant abyss. So it's hung precariously over this giant hole that reaches down into the center of the earth. And she is only a small kid, and she's only what they call a red whistle. So she's only allowed to go down to some of the top layers. And her aim in the series, or to begin with, is to become a white whistle, which is the absolute best in cave excavators, and they go all the way to the bottom, but they very rarely come back. Only the best cave excavators can actually go down and come back, because they have what they call the curse of the abyss. So the further you go down, the much harder it is to get back, and the greater the actual there's detrimental effects to your body and your mind as you go further down. So there are a few types of different whistles. Sorry, I almost forgot there. There's a red whistle, which is what Riko is. Then you have the blue whistles, who are like the okay cave excavators. You've got the black whistles, which are very proficient. And then you've got the fabled white whistles. And there's only a few of these white whistles. And it just happens to be that Riko's mother is one of these white whistles. And 10 years previously to when the series starts, she went down and hasn't come back. So you can see where the story goes to. So Riko gets a message from her mother. Oh, actually, no, I'm missing the biggest part. On one of her journeys down into the uppermost layers, Riko finds a robot boy who's Rake. He becomes a major part of the story, obviously, and I completely glossed over that. But anyway, she finds Reg, a robot boy. She brings him up to the orphanage. She disguises him as a boy, and together they start cave excavating, I guess. But they become friends. And then Riko finds out that her mother has sent a letter back with her whistle. And there's a hidden message in the letter that she manages to uncover, which says, "Come and find me." So Riko, in her desperation, in her excitement, plans to go down to find her mother. Now, that's where the adventure begins. So they traverse down the abyss, and they go past all these different mythical animals, monsters, etc. And I really like in the animation style where the dangerous creatures, they're not well animated. They're kind of rough and shoddy looking, and it kind of contrasts against all the beautiful landscape and the vistas that are down there. So that's a really, really interesting way to go about it, and I can understand what they're trying to do to show them that it's out of place, it's dangerous, and it doesn't affect your viewing of the anime, which is awesome. And then there was some, the thing that struck me about this anime was how unafraid they were to show some things. Like, there are some really graphic scenes, there are some really random nudity that would make some people uncomfortable. But one of the things, and at the very end, I'm not going to ruin it for everyone, but there's a point in the anime where a friend has to kill her best friend to save her from living a life of indignity. So she happens to be one of my favorite characters. So Nanachi, who at the end of the series by the MIDI, that's just heartbreaking. It just broke my heart. And I'm even sadder to think that we're going to get a season 2, but what happens after season 2? Are they going to be able to finish the whole series, because it is a manga and it's still being written as we speak and hasn't been completed yet. but the story will end. And as depressing as that is, but what a great anime. It's something that I would recommend to everyone. I probably wouldn't recommend it to small kids because it's definitely got some adult themes in there and there's definitely some blood and some graphic scenes. But I recommend it to everyone of 15 plus. I mean, you have to see it. It's such a great series. I can't hype it up enough. But anyway, if I had to rate it, I mean, this is going to be one of my very, very, very rare reviews where I give something a 10 out of 10. My first, and probably my only, yeah, for now. But watch it, guys, definitely. Anyway, guys, if you like that video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe so you can see future content. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We have our own website where we sell merchandise. Not from the movie, not our merchandise, but from movies and figurines. Yeah, you'll find it. Go and have a look. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you later.